Phase 3, the unnamed phase. Well, I don't have a name for it because, well, it's kind of everything put together. We're going to try. The goal for Phase 3 is now we don't have to worry about basically buying a team. Remember, Phase 1, goal of Phase 1 was to basically build a foundation, have a competent enough team to go into head-to-head. You have 100K. Phase 2 is to keep building, keep upgrading your team, but you take that 100K, and we're going to move that 100K into 500K. Now we're in Phase 3, so we need to go, and the goal of Phase 3 really is to take 500K and progress it into about 1 to 2 mil. This is the big, it might look a little daunting to move 500K into 2 mil, but trust me, once you start to have a significant amount of coins at your disposal to make coins, it becomes a lot easier. And well, we're going to use a plethora of methods that pretty much we still actually use the same principles today in some coin making methods, but back in episode 31, the main method, and well, I have a soft spot for this method because, well, it was probably one of two of the best methods we've had this year other than Team of the Week investing. It was the heavyweight reroll, specifically the first iteration. So the first 5 cards that were originally in the roll were Montez Sweat, Jack Conklin, Quentin Spain, Roger Saffold, and Brandon Williams. And well, it was a very simple method. You would just simply buy trading at its cheapest rate at the time, and you would roll the heavyweight packs. And well, the 3 L's you would say were Brandon Williams, not Montez Sweat, Brandon Williams, Quentin Spain, and Roger Saffold. I'm sorry. And it's pretty much those 3 L's. If you pulled those, you would lose only like 5 to 15,000 coins. You're probably thinking like, that's not a lot. And then when you pulled a W, which was Montez Sweat or Jack Conklin, you would make upwards of 60 all the way up to 100,000 coins at the initial, basically the peak of the heavyweight method. So all you would have to do is pretty much pull a Montez Sweat or a Jack Conklin in one in every like 5 packs to break even. And well, you would do that a lot more than normal. And you can see the coins. Well, we went over Jerry Rice and Mike Haynes because I think that was a crucial time in Madden. We really started to see the Raiders theme team have its reins, take a hold of the Madden community. You might have saw my coins at actually 0, but we had a bunch of Montez Sweat and Jack Conklins. It's kind of the principle of the heavyweight reroll where you have to actually be really patient when selling off your cards, wait for their prices to kind of be up, because, well, if you just sell at every possible moment when cards maybe are a little down, well, you're not going to make a lot of profit. You can basically guarantee profit by being patient when selling off any type of players in any method. But this is also going to be the first introduction, really, of the first anticipated match of the year. We match up with W in a weekend league game. At the time, I believe I was 7-2 or 7-3. He was rocking his no money spent team. It was 81 or 82 overall at the time. I had an 89 overall team. He went up 7-0 early. We came back, tied it up, I believe, at 7-7. We ended up having to settle for kind of 2 field goals to go up 13-7 at the beginning of the second half. We're able to force a fumble, and really at this point I'm like, all right, this game is kind of over. A field goal makes it a 2 possession. Dubby kind of understands too. He's like, I'm in full control, but I throw a blind, a Stevie Wonder-esque read on the flood concept. He put his deep blue on the left side of the field into a yellow, and well, we're going to actually have to take advantage of that mistake. He's going to try to go to it again on this play. You see the deep left middle blue was put into the yellow again. We're going to hit Kyle Pitts on the streak to the left side. So just like that, we went down, but now we're back up 19-14. The 2-point conversion was actually unsuccessful, but Dubby on his money drive is going to strike back. He's going to also successfully get the 2-point conversion. So I'm down 30 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Money drive of the century. Our first play, we're going to run basically a wheel route concept on the right to get over the top of cover 2. Calvin Johnson, my favorite receiver at the game, during that kind of time frame, is able to make the catch, and eventually we get down to the 4-yard line. We only have 1 timeout left. We're going to run the ball, and Reggie Bush, 1 yard short, bringing up a do-or-die play. I wasn't settling for 3. I didn't want to go into OT. I wanted to go for it all. Down 3, no timeouts left. The last play of the game. W has his yellow zone set at kind of a 5 for a zone drop, and our curl routes get right behind it. We hit my favorite, I think it was my favorite card at the time, Calvin Johnson. We get the W. W is heartbroken. We are ecstatic. And really, probably the most exciting game of the series up until that point. You guys probably not know that I used to play Weekend League a lot. And well, we matched up with W. We were able to come out successful, although he is quite clearly a better Madden player than me. He was rocking a budget team at the time. But that was the first anticipated matchup of the year. Now, episode 35, we start to see kind of some main coin making method principles come into effect that we still use to this day. Team of the Week 1 comes out, and well, At this point, I was still doing the heavyweight method significantly. I'd pretty much gone from 500k to about 1.5 to about 2.5 mil simply by doing the heavyweight method over the course of about a week and a half. And well, when Team of the Week 1 dropped, training actually significantly dropped as well. An 87 overall at the time before Team of the Week was going for about 70k. And when Team of the Week 1 dropped, an 87 Kyler Murray was obtainable for about 55k or under. So I jumped on that opportunity. You see, I had 2.5 mil at the time basically from grinding out the heavyweight method as well. You can still, you can never basically, like I say, lottery methods right during phase 1 and phase 2. You can still do, if a lottery method comes up during a different phase, you're still going to basically do that. But pretty much I used the heavyweight method to go from about 500k to about that 2.5 mil mark. And well, I put all of that 2.5 mil basically into training, an arbitrage-esque method where I bought training on Tuesday at a cheaper rate, and then Wednesday when Rising Stars dropped and heavyweights of course were still kind of a thing, I would take that cheap training I bought on Tuesday and exchange it for basically Rising Stars and heavyweights that went for significantly above training. Training, of course, rose from that Tuesday to that Wednesday, in part because we got our first gunslinger quarterback of the year. It was kind of a huge change in the meta. We ditched Daniel Jones because we were able to get a Zach Wilson for free through the solo challenges. So we had our first gunslinger quarterback of the year. It really was a huge thing in the community. First gunslinger QB kind of changed the whole landscape of the online gaming basically realm in Madden. But we were able to throw 2.6 mil that we invested in on Tuesday into the 87 Team of the Week Kylers. We quick sold all of them, and we pretty much pulled, I believe we ended up pulling, it was something insane, like 53 total. We pulled a ton of Rising Stars, a bunch of heavyweights, and after everything, we rolled our heavyweights, rolled our Rising Stars, we sold everything, and pretty much it came out to about 2.6 mil invested with a 3 million coin return. So we made about 400,000. Now you see in the top right, we're back at 2.5 mil. We had a couple cards still left to sell. A lot of times don't really pay attention to the top right because my coin total, I'm usually invested in something. So my max coin total that I'd be at if I sold all my assets would be a much higher. So I had about 3 million coins at this point. We've now added Zach Wilson, so we're still adding through like some NCATs, some solos. We're actually still adding a bunch of different things to our team while we're progressing our coin total, and that's really what phase 3 is all about. You're going to be taking your coins from about 500k to 2.5 mil. You're progressing your team a little bit, but you're not going out and spending. You get from 500k to 1.5 mil. You don't want to go out and spend that 1 mil that you made on your team. We're now combining pretty much a bunch of different types of methods, really a plethora of methods, to basically take your coins from 500k to 2 mil and up. That's kind of the goal of phase number 3. So we have our heavyweight methods. We still have our lottery ticket methods that we talked about in phase 2, where if they were to ever come about, well, now we have 2 million coins. We have 500k basically to start, where we can throw 500k basically at any method that comes out. That's just amazing. But in this phase, for me specifically, I used the heavyweight method. I used the Team of the Week kind of investing. It was more of a training arbitrage investment, not really a Team of the Week investing. It was really just a training investment. That's what it was. So training investment, we used the heavyweight investment, and then we started doing the gap pack method. Now, the gap pack method is kind of, I know it's weird. It only costs 500 coins. Why did you wait till you had about 500k? Why did you wait till you had about 2.5 mil to actually start doing the gap pack method? Well, the gap pack method to me is a very slow process. You have to have a lot of patience, and well, when you have 100k, when you have 50k, you're going to have to basically wait for those cards to sell off, and you don't necessarily have the time to do that. You want to take your 100k, you want to turn that into 500k in one day, in 1 weekend. Well, the gap pack method is a long process, so I actually like to wait to do the gap pack method until I'd probably start with about 500k during phase 3. That's when I started doing the gap pack method. So we combine that gap pack method, we combine that with the heavyweight method, some Team of the Week training investments, combine that with the lottery ticket methods we talked about in phase 2, and you kind of see how the Joe Bruin kind of coin empire is now starting to form. We're now going to fast forward to present day, where you can still do the gap pack method. You guys probably have over 500,000 coins probably in your coin balance, or you have 100k. The gap pack method, man, it is insanely profitable. I want to give some shout out, and I'm going to put their links in the description because that's kind of what this video is all about. It's a coin making method guide. So Up and Adam is one YouTuber that I feel like is very good with the gap pack method, as well as Jake from Ohio. Now, they do all types of method. However, I think their gap pack method videos are they're elite. All right, they're elite. So if you want to learn more about the gap pack method, hit up those two YouTubers. Tell them I sent you in the comments. I'll put their links to their videos or link to their channels in the description. But that really is going to be all about phase 3. on the screen. We're doing get a players till to this date, and well, we're gonna do one heavyweight reroll for old time's sake, because you guys don't understand how many heavyweight rerolls I used to do back in the day. It was probably the main source. It was the main source really that got us from 500k to 2.5 mil. Sorry for the voice crack, but huge respect basically towards the heavyweight pack. We're going to pull one, and we end up pulling 92 overall. Eric McCoy. New heavyweights, of course, just came out today. It was great timing, really, to make this video. But that is going to be all for Phase 3, the main goal. We're going to go over kind of some quick notes as we go through, basically. Phase 3, the main goal of Phase 3 is to kind of get our coin total progress from 500k to 2 mil. We're going to keep upgrading our team, though, at this period. And now we're going to combine basically our Phase 2 methods, our exchange sets, our low-risk rerolls, maybe some loopholes, our lottery ticket methods. And now we're combining that with our arbitrage method. Now, what I mean by arbitrage, that's more the trading investment, the heavyweight method. And now we add the gap pack method, so you can kind of take a plethora of options, maybe the heavyweight method or whatever method at the time that you're doing right now. Let's say a method that you like kind of stops working. Well, you have a plethora of different options, different types of methods that you can do to make coins. So hopefully this phase really is probably where a lot of you guys are at right now, but also some do nots. Now that your coin total is above, right? Initially, Phase 1, we had 0 coins. Now, Phase 2, we had 100k. We're trying to get to 500k. We're not going to go below 100k. Now we're in Phase 3. You don't want your coin total to ever go below 500k. And you can see we're kind of, that bar, pretty much that minimum bar that we're going to have in our account is going to progress and progress and progress. We never want to go back down and have to rebuild. We're always advancing, always trying to pretty much double our coin total with every phase. So that is going to be Phase 3. Let's move on to Phase 4.